So we started off this entire course around one of the most important topics that we teach everyone. It's structured weeks and time blocking, right? Who has not been able to implement structured weeks and time blocking to the fullest yet? It's a safe space. You can raise your hand.
I will say that I'm learning to include personal things into it, because otherwise it's work, work, work. So yeah, that's been my challenge.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because in our last class, last hour, someone mentioned I forgot to block the day after the deadline off, and someone booked with me at 8 a.m. for an appointment. I was like, duh. So you got to pre-book personal stuff alongside the business. So if we weren't clear about that before, go to your calendar a year from now. Chuck and I literally know what we're doing a year from now in our calendar. That's how we are so efficient. And so you need to block that personal time as well. Go ahead, Chuck.
Test question. What should be the most used button in the Google and Outlook calendar that's not being used? And you guys, you had this answer. You got it. So Chica, guess what? Do what Jackie said, put it in, but then you have to hit the reoccurrence, because that deadline is the same deadline next year. That means that day off the next day. You know, and if you guys are working on the 9-day work week, like very few of our clients are, but if you were, you really understand how that calendar is.
Yeah, and imagine if you decide you don't want to work on 10-15 next year. So go ahead and block 10-15 off, or block 10-1 to 10-15 off, and start telling all your clients about that intention, right? Like, hey, I'm not working those 2 weeks. We might get this done early. Yeah. All right. I like it. I like it. Okay. So
and remember, you guys, when you get stuck, let us know, because we've been through whatever your stuckness is, and we know how to prevent it. You know, you guys are still busy, not enforcing your disciplines. You're doing all the things you need to get done, but you're not getting ahead. And the only way you get ahead is stop thinking and start doing what you were taught. Okay, back to you, Jackie.
So Chica, can you add a Darb for yourself in the next few weeks to maybe get your next annual calendar and personal events scheduled? And anyone else that might need to do that as well, set a Darb and then add Chuck and I so that we can help hold you accountable. Okay. All right. Then we got into priority codes and Darbs. Priority codes, we want you to implement internally with your own team first, if you have one, and then of course go on to your clients. Who has had struggles implementing the priority codes? Okay, so everybody's got that implemented with clients. It's in like your email signature or on your website. It's everywhere where they can see.
Onboarding guidelines.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it internally, but to be honest, externally with clients, we don't work with clients that are urgent, and we set up that expectation up front, and I never want them to tell me when something's urgent. So they know if it's urgent, I'll say, just let me know, send the thing, we'll set up a call. So for me, I just don't like, there's that expectation is set very clearly that we work differently. And so I don't like the as far as the priority codes and all that stuff, for me, I just don't like it in my marketing and stuff, because I'm all about aesthetics. So, but I do set that, and so that's not really an issue.
Okay, so Sandy's taking it to the next level, Chuck. So first we had the student last year that said, I'm never using an E. Now Sandy says she's not using U's. Hey, I'll take it, you know?
And honestly, if a client like is urgent, and if they have something, then they know that we'll respond and we'll do that. But we just set that expectation, and it's actually been really good. And if we have unreasonable clients that snuck through, but they are unreasonable over time, I just fire them. I won't work with clients like that. This job is stressful enough, and the bar is really low in the CPA world. So don't put up with that crap. So
love it.
Okay. COVID. Going through COVID.
Yeah, that is an acceptable answer, Sandy. You are good to go. Okay.
But internally, we're going to do that a little bit in our Asana. So I'm going to assign that. So.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then Darbs, who has not been successful with the Darb method? All right, everyone feeling good with that? Okay. Then I did a fire hose class on value pricing with y'all. Who does not have their head wrapped around the idea of value pricing and what services you can bring to the table to clients with value pricing? Does anyone have any questions or concerns about that concept? Because that is literally the future of our profession. And so I do not want you to get behind if you don't have your head wrapped around that. Y'all are all really good. I mean, I'm preaching the choir here, but there might be others that didn't show up today that might need that reminder. Then we got into your client care calls. So you maybe haven't done any of those yet since you've been in extended busy season, but remember, you want to set up a certain date and time every, weekly, maybe Monday afternoons, Tuesday afternoons. You spend an hour just cycling through your clients to call them up, see how they're doing, check in, astonish them by calling them out of nowhere because accountants don't do that. And then ask them if they have referrals for you that are just like them, if they're the perfect fit client, or describe exactly what that perfect fit client is so that they know what to look for in their referrals, right? So if you do not have that in your time blocked week, I would suggest getting that added ASAP. Chuck is doing client care calls with all of our coaching students as we speak. So, we don't just preach it, we do it ourselves. Then we got into repeatable videos, screencasting, Covideo. This is an oldie but goodie. I mean, a lot of problems would be solved if we just recorded more of the repeatable things that are happening internally and externally to our clients, and then have that recorded video to go back to and reference to, or train new staff on, or train clients on. Does anyone need to still work on that a lot? Getting what videos you want to make repeatable and how you're going to use that in the future?
I think it's just an ongoing project. I feel like it's never ending, right? As things come up, we're starting to build in our internal library and our systems and processes, and then client specific ones for certain things. So I think that's huge. So.
Okay, cool. And you've got repeatable videos you can do with your onboarding guidelines, right? So we'll talk about onboarding guidelines in a bit, but you can break those topics into little video chunks and do an email series with your existing clients, and say, hey, we're introducing these wonderful guidelines. You're so special. You get to be a part of this. And here's how Darbs work, or we don't say Darb, right? But here's how this process works, or this is how our referral process works, or however you want to chunk it down into little micro pieces. So after repeatable videos and screencasting, we got into personality types. Not only does this help you sell better by adapting to the personality style of the buyer, but it helps with every relationship you've ever had in your life. I know that it was a drastic change for me to realize that I needed to adapt a little bit to how someone else is thinking and feeling, right? I mean, I always thought I was an empathetic person, but I still didn't understand that my logical left brain way of thinking is just so different from the way that they would look and think about things. And so me just making small little tweaks to the way that I communicate with them, my team, my family, it can make big impact on that relationship. And then we got into packages, creating different package levels for your clients. ChatGPT is amazing at package creation. So if y'all have not taken my AI course on that, I showed it the other day and it was pretty fun. Who still needs to work a bit on your packages or critiquing like what's included in your different package levels?
Jackie, where's the link for that class?
Let me give that to you. I also have another new class coming up, 5 steps to year-end tax advisory for maximum ROI. So I will pop that in the chat. These are both CPA Academy courses, and I got a 4.92 average score this week when I did the AI course. So I'm very pleased with that. And a lot of people were really, really excited about it. So there's a link to those sessions on CPA Academy. So everyone's good on their packages. Tom, you good?
I am probably going to go back to the drawing board on a few things just because my focus has been tax only. And I feel like I'm missing out on potential clients by not also offering bookkeeping.
Okay, that's fair. So Meyer Tax, we did offer the complete package. So, you know, the bookkeeping and the tax services. And then you could even, I've adapted a lot more to outsource CFO column type of offering as well. And so you do whatever your heart desires in regards to what you think is going to maximize your impact with your clients, but the sky's the limit there. I just say, make sure you have something itemized out as to what you provide, because no one wants this old traditional BS of accounting firms saying, oh, I'm going to do your taxes, sign this engagement letter. And then they have no idea what's included in the work, right? Yeah. Nobody wants that anymore. It's like, it's so ridiculous that accountants still do that. You got to have something to offer them. Okay.
And Tom, when you make presentation changes because of that nuance, make sure to run them by me before you go final.
Okay.
All right. Then we got into discovery meetings and conclusion meetings. So that's what we call the 2-call close. And then I showed y'all my entire onboarding process with Meyer Tax and how I do the 1-call close. How's everyone feeling with their sales presentations? Are there any questions, anything at all that y'all would like to pick our brains on with all the hundreds of thousands of presentations that we have assisted people with? I know Tom had some very specific tiny things that he was so great about coming to us about as he adapted his presentation style and changed it and found some issues with it. And we course corrected as he went. And so hopefully, Tom, you're feeling a lot better about that process.
I am. Yeah, I think my biggest challenge is finding the right prospects, because it just seems like even though I have, I think they're worthwhile engagements, the savings are there. I just don't necessarily know if I would consider them VIP prospects. And as a result, they don't necessarily believe in what I'm presenting. Right. So if I can save roughly $32,000 a year, even though I'm explaining the value proposition, it's, coming from self-preparation or coming from an H&R block, that they just don't understand it. And that's something I need to adapt to as well. But that's kind of the genesis of going back to the drawing board and offering accounting services, because then I think we can target, higher end clients, gross revenue of over $1 million up to 10 mil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then grow with them. So, you become that really, truly trusted advisor. And there's no way a year or two from now, when you propose the tax advisory services, they wouldn't believe you at that point, because you've already kind of integrated in the baseline stuff. You could also offer just a flat fee tax plan up front, which is another thing I'm kind of coming more around to that I never did at Meyer Tax. Mm-hmm. I would do the free proposal and then just that big old implementation fee. But I'm finding that there's a disconnect between those two, and that saying, okay, look, I'll hand you off this tax plan report from Tax One IQ, but pay me $1,500 for it, right? So
I'm actually working on a case right now for that, where it's a restaurant group, and I hate restaurant groups.
They're tough, yeah.
So I can save them, at least the one guy can save them over $100K just because no one's doing anything for them. I just won't be involved in the day-to-day. Mm-hmm. So that is something I'm considering as like a one-off, where it's just the plan and maybe a little bit of implementation. But
okay.
Yeah.
I know a EA that specializes in restaurant groups with the bookkeeping and accounting side of things. So if you want that recommendation, I can give that to you for the maintenance work.
Okay. Awesome.
I have a question too, Jackie, about that. Something you said just made me think. So if we, and this is kind of going back to the prospect that I was talking about earlier. So if I offer him the tax plan at the $3,500 or $2,500, whatever it is I decide, and I can use the report from Tax One IQ. I totally forgot about that, right? I could give him that.
You forgot about that? What you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I'm just thinking about my presentation and the ROI report. I'm like, that's right. We got that whole report that spells it all out. So, okay. So if I give him that, do you think I still should like have like meet with him to talk through the strategies, or should it be just the like, here's the report? And
if you're charging 3,500, I would spend an hour with the dude. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
sure. Okay.
and those aren't super simple strategies. Like the gifting one alone is going to take a bit of time to explain. So yeah, I mean, I would produce the report. You know, he pays you. You could send him the report and then offer him a time to meet to go over it, and then it's up to him if he wants to do it, right?
I'm sure he will. Yeah. Okay. And I've actually never done that strategy, so I have to read through it to see. I know you have to value the assets or something like that. I really don't know all the technical parts of how to actually do that, but I guess I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, let's see what it says in Tax Plan IQ. So we've got identifying appreciated stocks, looking at annual exclusion amounts, lifetime exemption considerations, holding period and basis. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot there that you could talk about for sure with him.
Okay. Will we have to have a third party do this valuation, or is that something the brokerage company does? Do you know?
It depends on the asset and the value and how official you want to make it.
Okay. All right. I'll do some digging and see about that. Okay. Thank you.
All righty. So then we pulled all of our materials together by creating these client onboarding guidelines. Who does not have those complete? Okay. Sandy, how can we help you with that?
To be honest, it's just the last couple months, everything's shifted. We are literally not taking on clients until the beginning of the new year because of we just don't have capacity right now. So I'm also with getting my financial planning thing, just figuring out like really what our offering is, but that is something to like kind of work on when I can come up for air to kind of focus on. So I love all the resources and stuff that we have. I mean, that was my goal actually for signing up for this. We were going like, you know, I hired this person and we're trying to grow, but now I'm just trying to get really great service to my existing clients and sell them financial planning versus, you know, getting more out rather than going externally. So, so that is on my list, but I've had to put it on hold.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. What would be an appropriate deadline or date that you could say you're going to commit to getting that done?
Realistically, I'll probably be working on that in January.
Okay. So go ahead and set up a Darb on your calendar for January and add Chuck and I so that we can help hold you accountable. Okay.
All right.
And then Courtney, you're also don't have yours quite complete.
No, but I did start the process. I did reach out to Chuck's referral, Lynn. So we just started communicating. So I have, you know, she's working on a couple things with me, like my logo and some other things. So we want to get all that stuff done first before we do the guidelines. So yeah, that I would say is in process.
Okay, awesome. All righty. So that is our entire course. So at this point, we're going to go round robin and tell me your favorite thing from the course. It could be a topic. It could be, you know, interaction. It could be whatever you want. I'm going to then go round robin and have you make sure that each of you have a Darb set for one thing that you want to follow up on after the course to make sure that it comes to full completion. And then I'm going to add a new thing since we have a smaller group today. We are changing our mastermind to incorporate a lot more AI into it in our next one that kicks off in November. And we have to take a couple of things away in order to add in the AI. And so I wanted to get y'all's candid feedback on what you think we could take out of the course in order to bring in some, you know, the more kind of modern topic. So let's first start with the favorite thing from the course. So Tom, you are up, sir.
I thought the presentations were helpful. I think it's probably geared towards how I learn. I like to, you know, learn in real time and see how it's done. So just seeing other folks present in their presentation style and what they're offering was super helpful to see that.
Very cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can get that anywhere, right? When are you going to get to see your competitor pitch?
Right.
So very cool. All right. Thanks, Tom. Courtney, how about you?
I actually agree. I did enjoy and find the presentations to be the most helpful and also the most fun. And that came as a surprise. I was like dreading, like, oh, we got to do this presentation. But they ended up being very, very helpful. And I just gained a lot of insight and a lot of valuable feedback. I learned just from watching other people do them. So I thought that was super, super helpful. I also loved the idea of the Darbs. That was just like mind blowing to me. So I love the Darbs. And the time blocking, super, super helpful. So I would say those are my 3 top favorite things. Oh, and I should say, well, there's a lot of things, as you see, but the personality styles too. And I'm still trying to really, I don't have that mastered yet. Like now everybody I talk to, I'm like trying to figure out, are you a director? Are you, and I'm trying to just kind of practice my skill of identifying who fits into what personality style.
Courtney, have you picked off the DSRT chapter in the Sales Mastery book?
No, but I should probably look at it.
So go to chuckbauer.com/salesmasterybook.
Yes.
You got the hyphens around mastery, and you need to read and embrace yourself into chapter 3.
Chapter 3. Okay.
Yep.
And
there's some tests in there for you too.
Okay.
And then another thing, Chuck, one of his like first students would print off, I don't remember if he showed you all this, but it was a realtor in Cayman, right? She printed off the personality styles and has this little flip book that she just looks at constantly when she was pitching people or whatever. And that helped her remember them. So maybe you do that too.
She's actually the #1 realtor on Grand Cayman with Engel Volker's Real Estate. And she created those flashcards. So when she'd go to the airport to pick somebody up, she'd go through the flashcards. And that's how she learned it. And guess what, Courtney? She teaches it without me anymore. She doesn't need me. Oh, Chuck, he's long gone in the past. Okay. But you guys can all get there too. But that's what she did. Good pick, Jackie.
All right. Sandy, what was your favorite thing?
I think okay, so everybody, the presentations were great, but I think I really like the time blocking and structured weeks, and we rolled it out to everybody in the firm. And I think that really, for me, it kind of made a big difference. But the presentations were really helpful, and just reinforce about the video things and how I need to use those, and just that reinforcement is good. So value pricing is always good too. So
okay, cool. Chica, how about you?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of different things, including so the value pricing was really helpful, considering that I have the tax return clients that I really like. I want to keep them, but I want to, do some value pricing with them as well. So you guys gave me ideas as to how to propose that to them. So that's something that I'll be working on the next 4 to 6 weeks. Also, I really like the time blocking because I feel like it kind of gave me permission to take Friday off, work a half day on Monday. So that was really helpful to see other accountants doing things like that. What else? The presentations were helpful. The 2 meeting close was really helpful because at the moment I'm kind of still doing the 1 meeting close, and my close rate is not so high. And so yeah, and because, with the 1 meeting, I don't have all their information to even do the presentations.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that people kind of like, they like my personality. So doing presentations would be helpful for me to closing deals. So I just gotta do the 2 close. And I gotta ask for that information up front before they sign any engagement letter, and just really show them what they can be getting by saying yes, right? Because I think a phone call alone, it's weird because my energy is not really high in a regular phone call, but in a presentation, I tend to get excited. So
yeah, no, that's really amazing self-reflection right there. And I think that that's really gonna bump up your close rate exponentially. So that's awesome.
Your secret weapon is your smile. Yeah, so use it. That's a tool. Use it.
And I smile more when I know that I'm saving someone money. So yeah, win-win.
There's a smile right there. When you said saving money. All right, good job, Chica.
Okay, so guess what? Y'all now have a brand new title. You are now officially certified concierge accountants or CCAs. Yay! Congratulations. So add that to your name on your email signature line. You can put our little logo wherever you want on your website, etc. But yeah, y'all are official, and being a concierge accountant or CPA or EA, I think is the future of our profession. And so it's all about those little extra touches that are going to take you to the next level, and those little competitive advantages. And we really hone in on those in this course, very, very specific things that we know are going to take you to the next level. And so we're really, really pleased that you all dedicated the time to go through this with us, and that you are taking your firms to that next level. So on that note, I want you each to have that Darb. So I know Sandy and Chica, did I have y'all do a Darb already? Yes. So Courtney and Tom, what are going to be your Darbs that you want to make sure that you follow up on to take this course full to completion after?
Mine's going to be overall implementation. I think my challenge has been I've implemented a handful of things, but not everything. And I'm noticing the gaps.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
He's
So
he's working through the gaps.
Okay. So do you have like a smart, measurable, specific goals around those gaps?
I do. I think the timeline is a little difficult to assess right now, just because, gosh, I hate to say it, but I'm already thinking of the next tax season.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell you what, I'll give you a deadline for you.
Okay.
It's going to be 12/31, my friend. Okay. So by the end of this year, have all the stuff set up so that we can hit 2024 running.
Okay.
All right? Okay. So
Tom,
create that Darb and add us.
Show teeth, Tom. Come on. Teeth. There. That's the spot. Okay. You got to work on that, dude. You know, just be 20% of Chica and you got it made.
Fair.
All right. And then Courtney, what's your Darb going to be?
I think just getting the stuff that I started working with Lynn done, like the onboarding guidelines, the logo, I wanted her to help me with like a Facebook banner and like just my social media stuff. I just want everything to be branded and just kind of all look the same and have the same look and feel. And that's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just hadn't found anybody and hadn't really taken the time to look for anybody to help me with it. So I'm really grateful that you gave me that referral, and she's great. I spoke to her. She's awesome. So I'm looking forward to working with her and completing that project and finally getting all that stuff done, and I'll feel a lot better.
Perfect. So what date are you going to commit to get that done?
I know. So I don't know, because I don't know. I haven't talked to her about timelines yet. We kind of started.
12/31.
You want to? Okay, 12/31 it is. Let's do 12/31.
Okay, perfect.
Somebody's got to make a decision without thinking.
Yes, thank you. So I'm
You're
not good at that.
All right. I literally expect to see all four of you with an email invite to like 8 a.m. on whatever date we just set for you to hit that Darb, and Chuck and I are invited on that. Okay. So I have a big request from you, and what it is that you're completely transparent with us on like one or maybe two topics that you're like, I really could have gone without going over this so that we can fit in some new content. Or if you have ideas on content you expected that we didn't go over, then that's another thing that I want to hear too. So Tom, how about you?
I hate to say this, but you could probably reduce the number of presentations if you want to fit in more content. So,
okay, yes. So y'all were the first group that we actually increased the presentations, but you were also the first group that several of you specifically said that was your favorite thing. Sure. So now I'm torn. I don't know whether to do more presentations or not.
Flip a coin.
Could you do 2 in one day and then have feedback provided elsewhere?
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Also say this. So I'm probably 4.5 months into a medium-sized firm with 60 to 70 people. I have 2 of their principals in the wasted workday. and it's taken them 4.5 months, but they are now making big strides. And they've actually put in a person in the new concierge group, and there's more coming. But it did take, again, because their corporate mentality, it takes a lot longer to get things implemented, and I had to get on top of things. And I took a VP and brought in their #1 implementer from the company in class. So with those 2 people, I was able to get them going, and they're running now. So, but it, you know, there was a lot of heartache there for the first, 3 months or so, because again, there are 40 to 50 staff members in Houston.
Yeah. Okay, Courtney, what things could we cut or take away?
Maybe what Tom said, I mean, maybe one of the chairside presentation sessions, or condensing them possibly. And also, I guess maybe kind of look at all, like the only one that I think you might be able to kind of do something similar with to condense into one session would be like how to conduct the conclusion meeting and the one call close, because I think we had 2 different sessions on that. I don't know if you think they're related enough to be able to be one session, but that might create some space too in the program, because they're kind of similar.
Yeah, or we could try to condense. Well, Chuck's going to get upset because he's taught this for so long in 2 separate sessions, but we could try to condense discovery and conclusion into one session, Chuck, instead of 2.
But the problem is we have experienced people in the class and we have inexperienced. So the inexperienced people really need to have the 1 to the 2 call close. Once they gain the experience, then the 1 call close is the ticket for them. That's the natural progression. But I think we could pare that down easily.
Yeah, I mean, we could teach discovery and conclusion in one session, but then emphasize they should still do it as a 2 call close until they get the appropriate experience, right?
And then they go to the 1 call, which we could do. We could do that in one, Jackie.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All righty, Sandy, what do you think?
Just related to that, I think it would be helpful at the beginning if you just gathered some more information about where people at in their things, because you might have a lot of people in your next group that really need a lot of sales and some people that really need some other things. So you could kind of get that at the beginning and kind of tailor it as needed. I think there was a lot of sales stuff for me. I was like more like on when you're doing AI, like efficiency. I thought like the wasted workday, those kind of things. Thought we were going to cover more of that stuff, which that's an efficiency, because that's really like my pain point. So I would have loved to have a little more there. So, well,
Sandy, you can always take the wasted workday with you and your staff member 2-on-1 for 6 months. And we can teach you the whole course.
Well, I don't.
He doesn't want to commit to that.
I'm not. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Can we replay that stuttering moment, please, and keep it in our Hall of Fame?
No, it's all good. It's all good. We get it. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, Sandy. Thank you. Is there anything else, Sandy, so it sounds like you didn't care for the sales.
There's a lot of sales, but there was just a lot of sales stuff, and it was great. And I think that they mentioned maybe condensing that, but again, it depends on your audience and where they're at. I like some of the things especially when you're doing AI, is kind of, if you're going to involve some of that, it's all about getting efficient and like kind of how to utilize that also, like in your marketing and stuff, I think would be super helpful. That's just,
Okay.
But
that's sales related, and there's not that much.
I gotta say, I have like a sales coach that I've been working with for years. And so I didn't sign up for like the sales stuff per se. So, but there was a lot of sales focused stuff, which was super helpful for some of those things, but like,
yeah, it's nice to have the course. Yeah, it's like half the course. So, okay, that's fair. So we actually y'all will get a survey after this. Please fill out the survey, please. Okay. And we are switching up our alumni program to where you'll actually be able to sit into our live sessions. And so since we're adding in the new AI stuff into the live sessions, it's going to be a really cost-effective alumni program. So we'll get more info on that. Sandy, that might be a good way for you to still kind of see like, okay, how does the AI all come together with this without having to commit to like a full-on program. So that's always an idea. Chica, what could we cut or take away from the program?
I like the discovery and closing being separate. I had a lot of questions with those, so it helped me
Okay.
a lot. But I also remember that the personalities were 2 different sessions. Maybe that
Mm-hmm.
could be condensed into one. And
Mm.
then, right, and very helpful for sure. But it seems like that's more likely to be condensed versus the discovery closing, So, and then I remember we had a session that was just a review.
Uh-huh.
And it was helpful, but like maybe that could be removed and turned into AI.
That's the midterm one she's talking about, Jackie. Midterm
Yeah.
review.
The midterm check-in session. And then lastly, so it's so funny because we had 4 presentations and I was the 4th one. And I was I was trying to give hints like, I don't need to do it. But I actually really liked the fact that I did it. I got a lot of good feedback. I was motivated to do them more. So it was helpful. Um, I don't know. I don't know if we need 4, but I'm torn with that one. But if we condense the personality and maybe remove the midterm check-in, maybe that's enough, and then you can keep the 4 presentations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would everyone else agree with that? Like the course check-in, you didn't think was actually that helpful, because that's newer. That's probably 3 classes ago that I added the check-in, because it's how we really like hold people accountable to assess where they're at in the course, because it's hard to get that kind of feedback outside of the session.
I actually don't remember that session, so I don't know what that is.
I think you could repurpose it.
Okay, so skip the course check-in. All right, great feedback. I love it. That's totally fine with me. We just didn't want to there's this balance of jam packing or overpacking the course versus like check-ins, and we can maybe try to do it a little bit different way outside of session. Cool. All right, guys, thanks for and gals, thanks for staying a little bit late with us. Chuck just popped in the chat. We do have the referral fee that we're giving out for anyone to enroll in our November sessions. Our best referrals are from students. So please think of one or maybe 2 people that you could refer this course to, so that Chuck and I can continue helping as many people as possible. And
if you guys want to send their information directly to me, and I'll get them.
Yeah. And of course,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, once coaches, always coaches. So you know how to get a hold of us if you have an emergency. You have our email addresses. You have your backpack access. So anything come up, just let us know, and we'll be here for you. Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that. I was just going to ask, are you going to upload a copy of the CCA logo, or is it already there or somewhere?
Yeah, I'll have Lauren, when she sends out the survey, I'll have her make sure that she gets the logo to you as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome, y'all. Okay, well, thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
guys so much.
We'll
Appreciate
see you
your comments,
later.
guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye for now.